If your lucky bamboo kind of looks like it's turning really yellow and the stalks are turning a bit mushy, you might be making one of these three mistakes that I'm going to show you in this video. And you might have a mushy stalk, which I will also show you what it looks like in the video. And then I'll also be telling you how you could save your plant from, because usually your plant wouldn't be too late. And I'll show you how to hopefully revive your plant. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. The number one biggest killer of these plants is actually tap water. I know it may be shocking, but these plants are really sensitive to fluoride and chloride, which is found into these water. And this can actually eventually let the roots to start rotting. And you'll also be able to tell that your plant is getting really infected by this water by looking at their leaves. If you see signs where the leaf is turning yellow and you cannot do anything about it, it probably means that your water, it has too much fluoride and you need to do something quickly to save it. So what you can do, usually for these plants, you need either distilled water, but if you cannot get distilled water, you can take tap water or rainwater, but you need to let it sit for at least 24 hours so that the chlorine can evaporate. But remember that does not evaporate the fluoride. It can also be a little deadly, but it's not as deadly as the chloride. The number two most common mistake is keeping the water dirty, letting algae grow, and letting the algae compete with the plant, and letting bad bacteria grow into the roots, which can eventually lead your stalk to turn black and very mushy. Even your leaves will start to turn yellow. It is not fun at all. So to avoid this, you need to change the water at least every week. You need to try to clean the water to avoid algae growing way too much, because the algae is not necessarily a huge problem. The algae does compete with the plant for natural resources and stuff, but the biggest problem is bad bacteria growing onto the roots, onto the plant. And as you can see, my plant is a little bit covered with this algae. It is actually recovering from a long time ago. So remember, you need to clean up your plant as much as every week. At least clean the water if you can't clean the pebbles every time. Even if your stalk already turned yellow, already became really mushy, you do not need to throw your plant away yet. Actually, what you can do is cut the healthy part off. Usually, the stalk will become bad, the roots might become bad, but then usually this part, if it stays green, you can actually just cut it off into here. You put it into another pot with pebbles, and then that will grow into a new plant. It will start to grow roots, and it will start to grow bigger into like new stalks. And it's so much better than just throwing it away when you could have saved a whole new plant. And that's actually what I did to these plants right here. That's why they're kind of thin. You see them a little thin. This is a really thick. Those are a little bit thin, but I cut them out of a plant like this, and here they are. So if you like the video, please subscribe. I have a lot of plant videos and a lot of lizard videos, so you do not want to miss out on that.